Do I press it?
Yes, of course. Of course, you dum-dum! Of course you press it!
Okay.
Ruby, press the red button, not the green button. Ruby, red button, not the yellow.
Sorry.
Hot man. So we got the light, got our neck on twins. Science. This is a good one. Hope you find some time at tonight. And stop. You hear a sound, you're about to stop. Total options would die. Oh no, it's you. Can't find him now. Get those slice. Baby night. It's not that you all our time. Baby night. You will put a shot also until it's until the sun comes up in the morning. Baby night. It's not that you all our time.
First you're losing challenges, and now you're losing your mind. I've been having some psychological issues I'd rather not talk about, so I don't think I should.
Oh man, that we're both
Apple, what are you doing? Oh, I think he's unconscious.
But wait, this isn't fair.
Wait, what?
McNuggets team has 6 members, but our team only has 5.
Oh well, I guess you're gonna have to deal with it.
No! I'm not gonna deal with that! This is the most unfair thing I've ever had to deal with in my life!
Fine! We'll make a compromise! McNuggets team gets Blue Suitcase's left half, and Sherbert's team gets her right half.
What? You can't just do that?
Yes, I can, because I just did.
I guess this works.
This penguin lacks the ability to stay on top of it in 3-9. 3-10 wants us to return this lamp to the guy at the start. We can use a gun to shoot this stalactite and a rope to cross the other gap. In 3-11, this lady is not getting to that hospital. Sorry. This brings us to 4-5, which should hopefully get us the exact amount of dollars we need to unlock. And 5-1 puzzle requires us to help this guy off the island. And now, puzzle incredibly cool. 5-2 asks us to make a chocolate bar from Martin's Betty, so this puzzle is can't shoot and can't walk. 1-8 is just not gonna happen. 1-9 has us fighting bears. We have guns.
That reminds me of power!
Proud. 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 Proud.
Welcome to the
Amazing digital circus.
My name is
Caden.
Ring master, and I'm here to show you the most
dropping
art stopping mind
bending paraphernalia.
you'll never get your eyes upon.
Isn't that
Right? That's right, honey. I can't wait to see what you've got for today.
Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the show.
Crazy! Oh no, I'm drowning!
You're supposed to like.
I'm SpongeBob.
I can't believe I got eliminated!
This is your fault!
No.
This may be the last challenge station, but that road goes on for a long... Will you help me, Coiny? Claim?
I'm not sure that's possible.
I didn't want to have to do this. I use my...
What?
It just turns you into metal. Lol.
You Paris!
Wait, what's the sound?
Freeze Mark's back!
To life.
I'm your ringmaster!
I
Feel better.
Side effects of anti-poison, you know.
I would know.
What? Wow, this book is the book.
Hey!
I'm a dictionary and you This peanut butter is the best. Ma'am, do you know what? What?
What?
That's the IRC. If I recall correctly, the place where Ice Cube dies. What? That's the
LCC.
Wow, coolio. What's going on? Come take a look.
Oh, cool, my name. Oh, cool, my name. You dirty liar! You scumbag! You made me get in my head.
You just
lied about everything, don't you?
I love reports.
game.
Who knew
Could be such a
sharpshooter?
Adventures!
Huh.
And look,
Even though
we lost.
At least
We gave
get out.
all
right.
You are no match for the
Hey, Squidward, going somewhere?
You guys are going down! You guys are going down! Going down! Going down!
See, that was easy. That was the easiest I ever done.
No way. Am I?
And there we have it. Sticker is the winner of Battle for Dream Island elsewhere.
Wait, no!
So this is it?
Yeah, I know. You're so surprised. Just a little bug, but I'm a bit crazy.
Oh, nothing happened. I guess I was wrong. Lucky you.
I'm not budging, Sticker. You better jump.
I'm staying right here, Fern.
Both of you, out of the way!
What? No way.
Huh?
Am
Did
I?
And there we have it. Is the winner of Battle for Dream Island Elsewhere.
We did it! Fern!
I never lost faith in you, Fern. Except mid-challenge, when exactly that happened.
What the?
Here's your grand cake sticker. Yikes, that was so gross. I'm sorry. Time to pick who stays in Nightmare. Oops, sorry, season over.
Somebody once told me the world is standing rolling. The shark has hooled the shark. The shark has hooled the shark. Like a kind of door with her finger in her own in the shape of an owl. Quiet, yeah. Well, you're not so quiet. When you're ready, come and get it.
No, wait! Hey, I actually kind of like this song.
No!
Bring it to this area. Fast.
OMG, that was like.
It does seem that this car is going a bit slower.
Yeah.
What was that, everyone?
Funny.
Whoa, faggot!
No!
That's a good one. The finish line is. The finish line is.
Eliminated.
Lemon.
How dare you put on the screen while we were like.
Okie dokie.
Here's a fun prank you can pull. Drill a hole into the Bubble Recovery Center, pour tax in, and watch Bubble pop infinitely. Ha 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 ha.
Battle for Dream Island Elsewhere. 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 Dream Island. Dream Island. Dream Island. Battle for Dream Island Elsewhere. 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 Dream Island. Dream Island. Dream Island. Battle for Dream Island Elsewhere. Quick.
is it window do? What 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 is it window do?
Time for the next challenge, a sport challenge.
Calm down, police hat. We can make it without him. Plus, he'll realize that he made a mistake and he'll come back to us.
You dirty liar!
Huh?
You drove Oreo away! What?
Wait, no. Oh no, leave me. Oh no, 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 oh no, leave me. Oh no, leave me.
Back to Penn's team.
Well, we definitely don't want to pick
SpongeBob!
What was that for? 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
oh.
Sorry, Rocky. I choose Woody. Ah. Oh. Woody.